All right, we're recording now. This is it. This is time. And I'm starting it all off in 3, 2, 1.
The first of these terms is called an icon. An icon is a picture that represents either objects like printers, documents, applications, folders, devices, or even other computers. In addition, a text label further describes the icon for you.
It's the sweetie man coming.
Their milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. This is the Morning Stream.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Morning Stream for June 20th, 2019. Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett there.
That's right. Also, icons. The two of us. We are also icons.
Are we?
Our text labels. Our text labels will fully cement that to help you know what we are.
If you right-click me and run as administrator, will I run better than I would have otherwise?
But you have to right-click me and choose eject, or else I put a nasty message on your screen if you try
that's
and
right.
pull me out beforehand.
How come Macs do that, but no other computers care about when you just yank a USB drive out?
Oh, Windows. Boy, Windows used to do, because you'd have that little thing in your system tray on the bottom right that if you didn't right-click and eject before you pulled out a USB flash drive, man, oh boy, it would get mad at you.
Well, let me try it right now. I got one
Right.
in here. I'm going to pull it out. Okay, the message is, it just says the drive has been ejected. I wonder if they've just gotten better about that.
They might have gotten, on Windows, yeah, they might have gotten better about that.
Because my Mac still
that
throws a
might have
canary. It's like, hey, what are you
Totally
doing? You're
does.
pulling a thing out? You can't do that. Make sure you eject it next time.
That's right.
It's kind of odd. Computers.
Yeah.
What are you going to
It
do?
was a recent Windows 10 fix that they
Fix.
figured it out.
I like that you called a Windows 10 update a fix, because usually when those happen to me, I spend a day dicking with problems. That's usually what happens to me. It's fine. Windows, you're fine. You do what you need to do. You get the job done.
Okay. Yeah, well,
You play video games real well. I like that. You're a good platform for my gaming. You know? But for my reliability, well, sometimes you're a bit of a rascal. Brian, let's get into it. We got a show to do.
Yes.
So, all right. This is a question for everyone. And I think I know the answer already. And I'm bummed out because it's going to cost me money. But here's what I'm going to say. Yesterday, right before the Core show, I had a great one last night. Went 2.5 hours, that show. That's the long. It might be the longest longest Frog Pants show outside of the D&D thing. That it may be the new record holder, because I don't even think we've gone 2.5 on here before.
We certainly haven't gone 2.5 hours. We've gone 2 hours and probably 2 hours and change.
Yeah, but never 2.5.
Usually on a day back in the day when we had Jury and Wendy on the same day.
Oh my gosh! Can you remember that we did that? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was crazy, right? It was
What were we thinking? That was insanity.
I'm going to get both James Cameron and Peter Jackson to direct a movie. I want them to co-direct a movie. That's basically what we did.
Yeah, it was a real double feature. But even then, we wouldn't go much more. Yeah, and we'd end up at like you said, like 2 hours, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, this thing went like 2.5. But anyway, the point of it is, I came down, as I often do for a show, with a big frosty glass of water. And it was ice in there because I have an ice maker. You know, you push it on the little fridge deal there, and it goes and poops out a bunch of ice. And so that's great, except as I'm drinking it, I notice there is a little, not many, but like 2 little shards of plastic that I think are the ice maker internally, like snagging or crunching onto the side of the whatever and pooping out like shards of plastic from the maker.
And you're sure they're just not smaller pieces of ice that because all the other ice is melted and those things are probably still floating in there? Is that the deal?
100% sure it's plastic, just because of it's like pure white hard. It looks like torn plastic. Like, I don't know how to compare. It's like when you've dropped something in the garbage disposal and pull it out, it's got that kind of quality.
A little jagged, rough, like chewed up.
Yes. And I didn't drink any of it, didn't swallow any of it, did not ingest any of this refrigerator plastic that I'm aware of. However, there could have been particulate pieces that were so small I wouldn't have noticed, right? So my question is, A, if I drink a bunch of plastic water, when do I die? That's number one. And number two,
you should be fine there, but okay, yeah.
And number two
is how it'll come out. By the way.
I knew you were gonna. I don't know. Somehow I had a feeling you were gonna go there. But number two is, how do I know, or how do I? Is this a sign that I should get that thing replaced? And if I do, what is? I don't even know what that is. Is that a whole new fridge? Is that just a thing? Do I have somebody look at it?
Call an appliance tech and see if they can solve the issue. But just by replacing a single part, like, oh yeah, these Dufolator switches, these things need to get changed out every 2 or 3 years. People don't stay on top of these things, and they get plastic in their water, and it just, but they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it could just be a situation like that. Geez, I would.
By the way, Dead Polymers might already have the best title, Jagged Little Chill, he says.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Clever.
Also, Dead Polymers is a great name for the little pieces of plastic, if you think about it.
For the little pieces of plastic.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not too bad. All right. Well, maybe that is the thing. A tech, a guy who would know just to get a quick phone thing. Maybe,
and a lot of those things, like if you pull out your ice maker, the box that contains your ice might be able to be removed, might pull up and then out. And then you can kind of look and see, oh yeah, it's this piece right here that is starting to look a little frayed. It's a little spinny thing that breaks up the ice enough to where it can fall down the little chute. Mm-hmm. And then you might even be able to look up that part online and see if you can just replace it yourself.
Because I know if you look down in it, there's like a spiral-looking, drill-looking metal unit that is turning. Yeah. That's what's like grinding it up or moving it out or whatever. I think that thing is what's cutting into the side of the deal there. Yeah, so I need to fiddle with it, but I was a little shocked. I was like, oh, plastic in my water. Now you'd think I might just throw that away and go get a fresh glass without any ice in it or something.
Sure.
But no, I went ahead and drank that water. I got rid of all the plastic in it, but I went ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, if you take the plastic out, because here's the thing: you've probably been ingesting smaller pieces of plastic up into this. Just happens to be the big piece that you're finally able to see.
Yeah.
But you've probably been drinking plastic water for a while.
For all I know, yes. And also, our bodies are good at filtering things. It's not like you spend your whole life putting dumb stuff in your mouth, and who knows how many burgers I ate with a toenail in it, didn't know,
Totally. So, many daily, probably.
Every freaking time.
Yeah, and it even could be something as innocuous as like the little tab from a Oscar Mayer meat packet fell in there and just kind of got mangled up. It might be something that isn't even from your ice maker that just kind of fell in there and got.
That's entirely, I didn't think about that. There could have been, something from something else could have been in there. I don't know how though, because it's like
could be the tab from your pudding can.
That reminds me of
the knife, my good man.
There you go. That's what it reminds me of. It reminded me of the monorail guy. I love that guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing came off my pudding can.
Here's my penknife, my good man.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. What an episode that was.
Well, it really was one of the best.
Anyway, I'll try some stuff and I'll let people know what happens there, because who knows what the hell that was about.
Yeah. Maybe it's an allergy to ice machine plastic that's got your tongue all inflated.
It could be, yeah. Fat tongue. Look at all these things coming together. I got fat tongue.
Fat tongue.
I have right nostril will not freaking get any air through it. I think it's allergies. Also, I've been sneezing, and not just sneezing. Like, there's allergies for sure. There's stuff floating around outside. All this rain just creating overgrowth. And I sneeze so loud that if I did it on the show without muting it, it would just ruin everyone's day. I'm not going to do it. But I have the worst, loudest sneeze. And I forgot, are you allowed? You're a loud sneezer.
I'm a really loud sneezer. Tina complains about that all the time.
Yeah.
Why do you have to sneeze so loud?
Yeah, Kim says the same thing. I wish I could do like my niece. She does this little...
Yeah, I know. Like she's Elizabeth Montgomery on Bewitched, casting a spell. Basically, is it right?
Oh, deep cut. I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
That's real good.
Yeah. No, wasn't there somebody who said at one point it's bad for you to do that because you'll blow an eardrum out or something. Like you've got to.
Oh, sneezing too hard or too loud?
Trying to do those little internal sneezes where you just
right, try to keep it in. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that because if I tried that, I would hurt myself because mine are so need to get out. They need to be out and they're loud and they're literally like, oh yeah, it's like pa-cha! Like it's a big, loud, horrible sound. Yeah. But if I don't do that, my spleen will pop out of my nipple or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how are you going to get that back in?
No, it's just something I just don't even want to try, and I will happily sneeze as loud as much as it takes.
Yep.
Are you how many sneezes are you usually? Are you a triple? Are you a double?
I am a single, sometimes double, but rarely that. I'm usually just one and I'm done. One and done.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I'm usually 3. Tina will wait till, she won't say bless you after the first sneeze. She'll wait because she knows there's probably 2 more coming.
Yeah, it's a guarantee for Kim as well. Like she'll do the multiples. I don't know why I don't. Sometimes I will just because I'm not done, I guess, or however it works. But it's almost always one, and I've never understood that because everyone else I know is multiple sneezes before they're finished.
Yeah.
Also, sneezes are weird as shit.
I'm so satisfied because I'm a multiple sneezer.
Right. They're weird as hell, though. Think about what a sneeze is. I'm sure there's some science. I could go look it up and read all about it. But sneezes, dude, are weird. They're freaking.
They are really weird, actually, when you think about it, right? Because it's your body, an involuntary mechanism for your body to expel dust or particulates that are tickling your nose.
Yeah, and it does it. You have no. Well, I shouldn't say you have no control over it. There are ways to stop yourself from sneezing. Here's my wife's trick. When she has long nails, works every time. If someone goes, oh, I'm going to sneeze, all she has to do is click her nails right in front of your face. Go like this.
Uh-huh. Really?
They stop sneezing. They won't sneeze. It's the weirdest thing.
That's dangerous. She could get a handful of snot if she's not careful. Seems like a very dangerous thing. If I touch the what is it? The plenum, whatever that is, the little, it's not really the bridge.
No,
the bridge is up here, but it's like the little peninsula between your nostrils. If I touch that, I can stop myself from sneezing.
Do you do it like this? Not
the divot that goes to your upper lip, but the actual you got your 2 nostrils and that strip of land between them.
Oh,
yes, the nose taint.
The nose taint. Yeah, the nose taint.
The nose taint.
Yeah. Did you know that if I push, you're not gonna be able to hear this if you can. Yeah, it's not loud enough, but mine actually makes a click. Makes a click when I push it.
Oh, you've got a little broken shard of
like a little cartilage,
bone or cartilage or something.
Like a little cartilage is going like bending wrong, and I can feel it in my head, but you can't hear it out loud. It's too bad. I would love to have a trick where I could just be in public going, piss everybody off. Anyway, hey, talking about...
I've also got this problem with my right rib. It just doesn't seat right.
Oh, my gosh, that's funny you say that, because actually I have a right rib that is giving me so much heat.
Oh, yeah, septum. Of course, that's the septum.
Oh, is that your septum?
I thought the septum is inside, though.
Yeah, that's it, because you get a deviated septum. The
land is like your... Yeah, because you get your septum pierced, and it's the internal bit of... tissue that separates your 2 nostrils. I'm talking about the
nose chode, says Mojo
nose
Finger.
Chode. Chose.
Blowing your chose.
It's my chose.
All right. Well, we talked about sleep yesterday. I'd like to hear about more sleep. Can you tell me about sleep?
Last night, Tina and I were watching TV. Yeah. Watch another episode of Counterpart, which will be a future recommendal. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Counterpart. Let me think. Hold on. Don't say anything. It's that show with it's the George Clooney deal. No,
it is not.
Okay, it's not that one.
It is the J.K. Simmons show that Tom Merritt raved about that was on Starz.
That got canceled.
But if you buy Starz streaming, you can't stream it, so you got to find another way to watch it, which I have.
Did it get canceled? I heard.
It got canceled after the 3rd season, but everyone that I talked to, except for one person who was on Twitter or something and tweeted both of us, said, oh, yeah, they canceled after the 3rd season. Don't bother. Everybody else I've heard from says they wrap up enough storylines and the rest of the show is so excellent that you won't care that one of the plot lines doesn't get resolved.
Okay. Well, you had me at J.K. Simmons, so I'm in.
He's great.
Yeah.
You get 200% J.K. Simmons on this show. I'll just tell you that right now.
Okay. I'm in. Does he yell at amazing
and Miles
piano
Teller
players.
to drum faster and faster.
Oh, that's what it was. Drummer. I thought he was a piano player for some reason.
Nope.
Anyway,
He's a drummer.
never saw that movie.
Such a great movie, Whiplash. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I kept meaning to. It's
Put
it's
that-
on my list of shame.
Put that on your list to watch immediately.
All
It's
right.
so good.
All
I
right.
think it's streaming on HBO Go.
Oh,
or
I have
one of
no
those.
excuse then. I'm gonna watch it.
You have no excuse. Watch that. Anyway, so we watch a couple episodes of that. She goes to bed. I decide to come down and get some freelance done because I'm going to lift this morning and I'm not going to have some time to wrap up a couple of projects. So I go downstairs. I work for about, 45 minutes, get some stuff sent off, get music picked for today. And then I come back up to bed. I turn my bedside light on a little bit, just 20% dim. Actually, my Echo Show does that for me, and brush my teeth, all that stuff. Start climbing into bed, and Tina starts waking up, and she's staring at her clock.
Oh,
And I'm like, "Oh, hey!" She's like, "It's 11." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." A.M.
whoa!
No,
Okay.
no, it's 11 p.m. You've only been asleep for half an hour.
Oh, wow!
Oh, okay. And then she just goes right back to sleep. But she was having a freak out that she had slept for 13 hours and was just now waking up. Like the little bit of light that was coming from my bedside lamp
Yeah.
was just enough to make her think it was daylight outside.
That's freaking hilarious. I've done that before. Totally done that before.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning because my even though I looked at the clock and saw 3, my mind said 6, and I got up, showered, and all the usual morning stuff, and then came out and looked at the clock and was like, "Oh my god, it's 3:20. What am I doing?"
What did you end up doing? Did you go to bed again?
I think I tried to go back. Like I tried to once you have the shower, it's really hard to go back to sleep. So I think I probably watched Netflix or something and
Yeah, Netflix.
wrote
and
it out for the couple.
It's the old
hours.
phrase, Netflix and shower. I've heard that before.
Yeah,
That's
Netflix and shower.
Yep.
It's totally.
It's a good idea. Well, that's weird, but also I've done it, so I feel for her, and I'm glad that she got more sleep because that would have been a very rude thing to only have her sleep an hour and suddenly have it be tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so it'd be terrible.
Have you noticed? All right, so we got news that switching gears here a little.
Yes.
Mark Hamill was going to play the voice of Chucky in the new Chucky movie. So everybody, all the nerds went, "Ooh, Mark Hamill! We love Mark Hamill."
What do you mean? Was going to? Isn't he? Is he not?
No, he is still. That's still a thing.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
So he's still doing that. That part is still real. But now we've got to look at what Chucky's going to look like. And I just want to share this with the chat because I think the producers of this film should have known kind of what they're getting into here.
I saw this. I saw your photo here. Your comparison is dead on.
The new Chucky looks like a Thunderbird or Team America doll.
He totally does.
It's
Yeah,
not.
that-
It's
that-
very disconcerting to me, and maybe that's the point. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because this looks like it could be a doll, but the eyes are just so. I mean, the whole face is not. This is not something that would be on store shelves. I mean, I guess that's the point, right? It's supposed to look creepy and scary.
Yeah, but that's so that's old. That's new Chucky. Let's just compare.
That's a new Chucky.
Let's look at
Yeah,
old
old Chucky. I mean, old Chucky looked like, let's be honest, old Chucky looked like a puppet, but it was the only Chucky we had, and so we liked it.
Yeah.
We liked it that way.
Yeah. So there's old Chucky. He just had I don't know. He had eyes that moved. Maybe this one does too. I can't say enough about this because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But there's something about this new Chucky that really is creepy in a way that I don't think they intended. It's supposed to be creepy, but is it supposed to remind me of a freaking Thunderbird?
No, it totally isn't.
Yeah.
Because it's basically it's trying to look too human and needs to be more toy-like, more childlike, I mean, the big eyes are a start, but it's the big eyes with all of the other normal features just looks like somebody doesn't know proportions very well.
Yeah.
It does, you either go all stylized or you go all realistic, and you really just don't go all realistic unless it's an action figure. But
yeah, I agree 100%. Is there this isn't out yet though, right? This Child's Play remake?
no, it's
Let's see, Child's
a couple weeks, I think.
Play. Is it an actual theater movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I assumed because they had one that went right to Netflix before, so I thought maybe they were doing that again. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Child's Play comes out June 21st. Oh, actually comes out tomorrow. Wow.
Oh, all right. See if there's any reviews.
Boy, I wonder how it's going to do against Toy Story 4.
Yeah, no kidding. No reviews yet, which is usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. All right.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix currently enjoying a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Men in Black 1% higher, getting a 24%.
Wow.
Not great.
Wow.
Toy Story 4, however, 99%.
99%.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in.
Rocket Man 89. We were going to see that Tuesday and stuff fell apart and we didn't see it. I still want to see that. There's not much in theaters I care about right now, though, really. Like Dark Phoenix, just no interest in that. Shaft sounds terrible the way the reviews are going.
I still want to see Rocket Man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm into seeing that, and I can't wait for yesterday next week. Actually, it comes out the weekend of the bike thing, so I'm probably gonna have to wait until after the bike thing to go see it. But
let's see, that has that's the Danny Boyle film, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the Slumdog Millionaire. Chaiwara, Slumdog Millionaire director.
67%. It's not too bad. It's only 33
not too
reviews.
bad.
We'll see. Anything over 50.
I really like the premise. I like the idea.
Yeah, anything over 50 and I go in. That's when I go.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. All right. Well, we've had a look at Plastic Water.
That's your today's box office.
Yeah, got a box office
breakdown.
update. So now you got nothing better to do but listen to our news.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news brought to you by
to Andrew Bailey. Hey, dude, we hope you heal up fast.
Yeah, this guy sent us an email, and what's weird is, so he sent us an email first to say how much he liked the show and what it meant to him, and then we both replied and said, oh, thanks, man, that means a lot to us, blah, blah, blah. And then he wrote back and said, well, you're even more important now because I got in this horrible accident. So I just wanted him to know that we are pulling for you and hope you repair quickly. That you, in the phrase of the old people, convalesce.
Yes, we hope you convalesce. LC Knight said, Frog Pants, please don't let Coverville see Rocket Man.
Yeah, what is this about?
All right. I don't know. Don't let me see Rocket Man, Scott. Whatever you do.
Why? I'm trying to think of a person I would less want to see Rocket Man. Like, you absolutely should see Rocket Man.
Yeah.
You're the music guy.
I'm wondering, maybe he's thinking of the Harland Williams. Harlan Williams Rocket Man from several years ago.
It could be. LC Knight says it's a trash movie.
It's a trash movie.
Really?
Wow. You sure you're not thinking of the Harlan Williams film?
Maybe.
I think you're thinking of the Harlan Williams film.
Kentucky Fried Computer says Rocket Man is good.
Yes. Everybody else in the chat room is saying
Jackalope liked it. Heard it was great, says
it's
Rusty Nails.
It's almost as if 89% of our chat room really likes the movie Rocket Man.
Yeah. LC Knight says, no, it's a movie about his sex life, not the music. I heard that there's tons of his music. It's got to be about his music. I'm sure it's also about
Come on now. Come on.
I mean, it has to be a little bit about his gayness, right? Because that's part of his deal, his journey.
His gayness. Yes.
Yeah, his gayness.
I do hear there is a little bit of gay sex in there.
But
it's part of...
Is Greg Lou Gayness in it? hey, everybody, remember the 80s? That's a name you won't hear for a while. Greg Lou Gayness.
That's right.
Yeah. As long as it's not Sense8.
Enough people are saying that it's...
I'm sure it's fine.
That it's good that I'm still going to go see it.
I'm sure it's fine.
And certainly, and I'm certainly not implying to LC Knight or to anybody in the chat room that the reason LC Knight didn't like it is because of the gay sex that's in there.
Right. If he may have felt that it was just too weighted in that direction, and that's a fair criticism.
Exactly.
I get that.
He was hoping for more about. I want to know why he wrote Lucy in the Sky, or why he did his cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he do that?
Yeah, let's talk.
Tell me about
that.
this Levon.
Yeah.
Why is Levon selling cartoon balloons in town?
Yeah, what's the deal with that yellow brick road I keep hearing about?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Why did he change that song when Diana died?
Where
and
the
not write
gods
a new one?
of society howl. You can't put me in your penthouse. I'm going back to my plow.
That's a good song.
Back to the howling, oh, owl in the woods. Back to the honey back toe.
Let's see. They never talk about it. They don't talk about Marilyn Monroe or Dodgers show, or the Dodgers show. All right. Well, whatever. I need to see it. We shall decide for ourselves.
Exactly.
All right, thousands. This is my favorite story of the week, dude.
I know. I can't wait. And it's funny because I just talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, this is good. Thousands of petitions have been signed, or thousands of petitioners have signed a petition for Netflix to cancel Good Omens. Now, some of you already know why that sounds weird, but let's get to it here. More than 20,000 Christians have signed a petition calling for the cancellation of Good Omens. It's a television series adapted from Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman's 1990 fantasy novel. Unfortunately, they've addressed their petition to Netflix when the series is on and made by Amazon Prime. Well done, guys. Well done. The 6-part series was released last month.
Netflix. Everybody boycott Netflix.
I mean, I understand that the name Netflix is like Kleenex now. It's just sort of a ubiquitous brand name, but come on, do your homework.
It really just confirms that of those 20,000 people, I would say maybe 20,000 of them have not seen the show that they're petitioning against.
It's ridiculous. By the way, Pratchett's, I didn't know this, and I looked it up to confirm, and I guess it's true. Pratchett's last request to Gaiman before he died was that he adapt the novel they wrote together. Gaiman wrote the screenplay and worked with showrunner that works with BBC and Amazon co-productions, and people loved it. You loved it. The Radio Times called it a devilishly funny love letter to the book. But
it's
Christians...
It's so good, dude.
Yeah. Christians marshaled by the Return to Order campaign, an offshoot of the U.S. Foundation for a Christian Civilization. They disagree.
Return to Order.
Yeah, Return to Order.
Doesn't that feel like a... Boy, Return to Order just feels like...
9, you shall burn the books.
Exactly. It kind of does.
Yeah. Get in line. Be like all of us. You dumb shit.
Return to Order.
Let's see. It says another step to make Satanism appear normal, light, and acceptable, says this group. They also say it mocks God's wisdom. God, they complain, is voiced by a woman, Frances McDormand.
Spoiler.
Who says, "Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mr. Lundergaard,
Is that your?
Is that your friend back there in the chipper?
Is that your friend back there in the wood chipper?
Anyway, it says
the alarmies on you there, Jesus.
The Antichrist is a normal kid, and most importantly, this type of video makes light of truth, error, good, and evil.
Oh, Bethlehem, is it reasonable?
Is that reasonable?
Is it reasonable?
So you say the little one was kind of funny looking. Oh my gosh.
so many far God directions that we could go here.
It says it destroys the barriers of horror that society still has for the devil. They are calling on Netflix to cancel the show. I have bad news.
Netflix should just say, you know what? You guys are right. We won't air any more episodes of Good Omens.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for your
I think Netflix, yes. Reed Hastings himself should get up and go. Yes, we will no longer show any episodes of that show on Netflix, and then just leave it at that, and then these guys will just drift away and forgot it ever happened. Here's the other thing. This is how you know none of them have seen it. They haven't even done the work to know what damn network it's on, a.k.a. what streaming service. My gosh. What a waste of your time. What a waste of your breath. It's a TV show. Go sleep it off. All 20,000 of you.
I'm going to go petition Chick-fil-A to stop making those horrible Big Macs.
Oh, I know. That's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. You know what, Sega? If I have to play one more Mario game, I might just choke.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
The Beatles with their I can't get no satisfaction.
Right. Oh, don't even get me started on the Rolling Stones with their Yesterday.
Exactly. Smithers, have the Rolling Stones killed. Those are the Ramones, sir. Do as I say.
Rusty Nails has a good idea. Netflix pays Amazon so they can show the thing to give the Nazis the middle finger. So literally, and then Hulu's like, hey, let me too. And then they just all do it.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Jackalope Ashley has the best answer. Just don't watch it. If you're not into it, don't go anywhere near it.
Exactly.
Don't come in here and tell me to get back in order. F you. F off. Big old double finger.
But it's not about them watching it, Scott. It's about the other people watching it and thinking Satanism is okay and funny.
They can bite my butthole. That's what they can do.
Yeah. Oh, David Tennant's a demon. Well, sign me up for
Yeah.
being a Satan worshiper, because that sounds fun.
So true. All right, here's a cool story. Not that cool, but weird. A swan. You know a swan.
This is cool.
You've seen swans before. You know what those are,
I've
right?
seen swans. My uncle was attacked by one at his wedding when I was 11 years old.
Oh, I didn't realize they were aggressive. I thought they were the nice ones. I guess not.
They can be if you catch them on a bad day or you separate them from their young. But this one just like reared up, and I think we've got a photo of it. Like this thing is like,
Wow.
huge, about to browbeat him for getting too close on the path that we were walking down for his wedding.
So I'm getting into goose territory is what that is.
That's right, exactly.
Well, a swan swallowed a fish egg, pooped it out, and then 49 days later, it hatched.
Dun dun dun.
Brr, brr. End times. That's what
I
want to
know how they know all of this.
Right.
And the co-prophet of these end times.
We need him to tell us what's going on. The 5 woes of the end times.
Those are 5 woes of the end times.
I think this is one of
Whoa,
the woes.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
whoa, 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 whoa. Those are the 5 woes of the end times.
That poor guy. He's still, every one of his videos is just, let's pray for the president today. Boring. Talk about giant phallic symbols that are,
I know.
whatever. Like, come on, get back to your fun stuff. Let's have
We
some
need to
end
send
times
him
talk.
You need to send him that photo of the 2 paths that split off with the post in the middle of them, just to get him back on track, just to reboot Third Eagle.
Oh, I wonder if that would do it. It's like,
Yeah.
I noticed a Third Eagle. I'd be really earnest about it. Third Eagle, I saw this and I thought of you because I knew you'd be able to tell me what this was. And he'd do a whole video about it. He might actually.
Yeah, he's like, back to normal operations, finding strength to return to normal level of anger.
Beep, boop, beep.
End
Must find penis and complain about penis and the leopard.
Yeah, the leopard. We haven't heard anything about the leopard.
No, it's been a while since the leopard.
Yeah, it bums
And
me
the number
out.
4.
He bums me out. He used to be so reliable. Now he's just
I
boring.
know.
Well, it is these end times.
End times.
All right, great. Thanks, buddy. You know what's the worst about that end times? Just listen real here.
End times.
You can hear his throat and
Oh,
his
the
mouth
click?
just making click sounds.
Times.
Oh gosh!
Sound of the guy kissing his phone in the back of my Lyft the other day.
I forgot about that story. Wait, did you do lifts today? This morning?
I did this morning. I took I had to drive into Boulder Canyon, which, working there for 15 years, I never drove west of Boulder into the mountains. There's this beautiful canyon off of Canyon Boulevard, actually, which is probably why it's called Canyon Boulevard, that is goes into the mountains, and it's beautiful. But I lost signal, and picking up the guy, I couldn't do the little swipey thing to say that I'd picked him up. So we had to get almost all the way back to Boulder before I was able to swipe and say I've picked him up. And I don't know if that like reduced his costs or whatever, but it was
I hadn't thought about that. When you don't have a good connection, what does that mean? What does that do?
Yeah, like it tried to send a text saying it was like, all right, I clicked the button that says I've arrived, and it says no service. Like, what? All right, but he's in my car, we're talking, we're chatting, and I'm still trying to swipe.
They have to have a way to allow for that you'd think.
They really do. Yeah. It's bogus.
They've got
and I
it.
took a bunch of people to the Zed concert at Red Rocks last night. Zed,
like Z?
Zed, like Zedd. He's a musician, producer. He's worked with Hayley Williams from Paramore, and Red Rocks is another one of those places that I describe for lifting, like the airport, like one of those places. You know those fly catchers, those bright yellow fly catchers that they hang from branches in the backyard to catch insects, and the bugs can get in there and they never get out.
Yeah.
That's what ride sharing is in Red Rocks in the airport.
Wow.
Like, all right, I can deliver people there. No one's leaving because the concert hasn't started yet, so I guess I've just got to pay for myself to leave.
Wow. Zed.
Zed.
Huh. All right.
Zedd.
I'm sure.
Zedd is how you would spell his name in the UK.
That's right. Whenever people say Zed, like it's in the I was watching Chernobyl, and in there, I forgot the name of the exact button, but there's a button in the plant called the AZ2 or something, which is just AZ2 or whatever. But it's a button that shuts everything down. It's like a fail-safe, like shut the whole plant down kind of button. What do you call that? Panic button, basically. It's like a
panic. Okay, right. Like shut everything off button. Yeah.
And in the movie, they just kept calling it the AZ2 or AZ3 or whatever. Kill switch, right, Sidian? But it drove me slightly nuts because I don't think in Russia they'd call it a Z. They'd call it something else. But because they're all like UK actors and stuff, they were all saying Z. Which it's fine. It's totally fine. Like that show didn't bother me because everybody spoke in their natural accents. That didn't bother me at all. In fact, I think it was to their credit because the actors just got to be good actors and not impersonators. Yeah. Otherwise, they would have sounded like you and me doing your, too much hassle guy all the time.
Right,
right. Yeah, and in Russian it would be not English. So yeah.
This Zed guy is Russian German. So.
Oh, really?
So maybe that is maybe they do Zed in Russian.
My name is Zed. I like the vodka.
I will bring LPs because CDs are too much hassle to play on stage at Red Rocks.
Please go to my merch table after show.
You must buy merch. Buy a T-shirt with a picture of face on it.
Of course, right. Too much radiation. All right, let's look at this. Anyway, that egg went down that thing's gullet, and he hatched it later. That's the thing.
And
That's
the
the
fish
point.
came out. Yeah. The fish came out clean the other side.
It did. through a mile of swan guts. All right, here's what's this? Oh, this is awful.
Oh my God, this was the name of our trivia team Tuesday night because of this photo, because of this story.
Oh, really? That's hilarious. Yes. So you'd seen this before. This is not new to you.
No, one of my players on my team brought it up and said this should be our team name. I said, I haven't heard about this. And then he showed me a photo and I said, oh my God, nuke it from space.
Yeah, it's absolutely what we should do. So here's the deal. Guests watch in horror as a massive huntsman spider eats a possum in their ski lodge. Some man staying at a lodge in Tasmania, Australia, witnessed a horrifying scene. A large huntsman spider eating what appears to be a pygmy possum, which is a small possum, but a possum nonetheless. The large arachnid clung to the side of the door, clutching its prey and creeping out its unsuspecting audience. Justine Latton's husband, Justine, was staying in the lodge when they spotted the unsettling scene. She shared pictures of that her husband took of the spider on Facebook, captioning the grisly image with "possum-eating spider taken by my husband at Fort Field Lodge." After appearing on the social media site, the pictures quickly went viral and garnered thousands of shares. Anyway, image on screen, chat. You have to enjoy that. That's a good look for anybody looking for a good time. That's horrendous.
Enjoy your island of death.
Yeah.
Monster Island.
That is just
formerly known as Australia.
I would die. And everyone's always telling us, including, I think, Gidget's told us this. Like, legitimately, the biggest, nastiest bugs and creatures you're going to find on this planet live in Australia. Clearly, this is proof of that. Look at that damn thing. That is so nasty. And what's it called? A huntsman? Huntsman spider.
Huntsman spider. Yeah. And it's not even like one of those, it's not even one of those spiders like, oh, don't worry, it's a big spider, so it's harmless to humans. No, huntsman spiders, I think, are bad for humans, too.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near the jaws of that thing. If it can do that to a rodent, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Hope those don't ever rise up and destroy us all. Anyway.
Oh, people are saying huntsman spiders are pretty harmless, says Wargus.
Tell it to the possum. Tell it to the pygmy possum.
That's right. Oh, yeah. You look at pictures of the huntsman spider, and it's still just freaky. Like, the really, really long front legs.
Does it look like Chris Hemsworth at all? Probably not. Because remember the
it
Huntsman?
Does, yes.
Yeah, that was a movie he was in. Oh, in fact, when I search for Huntsman, I get John Huntsman Jr., who ran for president. I get Chris Hemsworth, and then I get this nasty spider. So, well done.
Yeah, let's see. Pretty low risk to most humans, while many may refer to as tarantula spiders actually belong to the family Sparacidae and are a diverse group found from Florida and Namibia, China, and obviously Australia. I like obviously Australia.
Yeah, obviously
because
duh.
if it's scary and potentially deadly, there's definitely some in Australia.
Chat room, I'm going to show you a photo now. I'll put it in the Discord as well.
This is not as bad as a redback.
Whoops, wrong button. Here you go. Check that out. Now that's one of those.
Oh, look at that! It's just like pinching skin.
It's biting that guy. F that.
Yeah. Nope.
I mean, that may not be the point. You know, like the whole point is the poison wouldn't get you, but
He's just giving a little hug. A little. He's like gonna do a little hickey on that guy's arm.
my wife would die. This picture would make her faint. She would have the hardest time.
Yeah,
with this.
Tina. Same with Tina.
Yeah. In fact,
Like, how is this person sitting still for the picture? Like, there would be a blur.
Yeah.
Of.
Maybe he's not afraid. He's one of those wackos that are just like, animals are gonna do stuff, you know?
Yeah. Jeez.
Not interested.
By the way, if we do want the Australian perspective, Gidget says she's available to talk about.
Is she on right now?
She's on right now.
We have 8 minutes. We could totally do with Gidget Von LaRue. Hold on, we're gonna add her to the show.
Let's pull in a little Gidget.
Yep, we're doing it. Gidget, if you're there, you're gonna help us understand this, and perhaps why somebody might put that on their hand. Gidget, are you there? Not yet. No, it's ringing. It's ringing.
Not yet.
She's online. No, she's there. Gidget? Nope, no Gidget yet. All right. Wait till you hear our Gidget. You want her for your Valentine. Doot, doot, doot. She's there, but I don't think she can hear us. Or we can't hear her.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Gidget?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, hi.
Yay.
Oh, g'day, mates. How
Hi.
you doing?
Hello.
You're talking about spiders and stuff.
Yeah,
We're talking about Australia and its collection of the world's most evil creatures.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Do you agree first of all with that sentiment that down there you're going to get the worst there is when it comes to the stuff?
Well, it's a weird thing because we don't have any big things that can kill us. So you guys have got like bears and wolverines and all and wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves, you got wolves.
We do have wolves. Yeah.
Wolves.
Or as
And,
Randy would say, woofs.
Yeah, woofs.
The wolf is coming.
Yeah.
And then over in all the countries in Africa, they've got really big critters that can kill you. We got little things.
Yeah.
Little things.
Which are worse.
Apart from, well, we got.
Because if I see a bear coming, I can say, "Oh crap, there's a bear coming." But if I'm about to step on a redback spider that launches up into my pant leg, I won't see the damn thing coming.
That's a horrible
Well,
sounding thing.
therein lies the problem because they can get into your shoes. But the nice thing is, where I live somewhere cold, so it's only a problem if you live somewhere in a really hot region in Australia. But in the hot regions of Australia, there's a really cool British chick that came over here. She lives here and she loves snakes. And she lives in Brisbane and she collects all like the dangerous snakes and she loves all the most poisonous. I think Australia has, per ratio, the most poisonous snakes compared to the most dulcet snakes.
Now, how
in
do
the
you
world.
feel about that? Do you live each day with that just out of your mind? You don't even think about it, or do you constantly live in fear that one of these days a snake is going to jump up through the toilet and make your life hell?
The snake thing, not an issue because, as I said, I live somewhere cold. So, those sort of creatures don't like living in cold places. So I'm pretty safe here. But when I lived in Sydney City, the biggest problem was redback spiders and funnel webs, and they can crawl into your shoes, and you just slip your thong on, or see a thong to you guys is like
No. Back,
underwear,
listen,
but-
Brian and I are the kids of the '80s. They were absolutely called thongs when we were growing up. I don't know when it changed.
Thongs,
Yeah.
but then people started wedging them up their butts.
Yeah.
And it took in a whole new meaning.
As soon as somebody tried to floss their butt with a freaking piece of cloth, and everyone went, "Oh, that's a thong now," and I went, "No, those are on my feet. I'm wearing a thong." But now I can't say it anymore. I have to say flip flop. That's more freaking syllables. It sucks.
Right, exactly.
Anyway.
But what is the thing with the G-string? Because as a female, I just think, guys kind of probably think they get the, stinky bits in their dackers, when they take them off. But girls get them too. So if you've got something like going right up your crack hole,
Yeah.
what you know that you're going to get that same thing. I don't get.
But we're not looking at the female figure to see the G-string. We're looking to see what the G-string doesn't cover.
Oh, is that it? I thought. Yeah. Okay, here's what I would like to know: is any woman or man? I don't care.
Nobody likes to wear those.
That's my question. Does anyone
you can
actually
ask me anything? Trust me, I'll just tell you the truth.
Does anyone actually like wearing those? And my guess is not.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because what's for?
No, it's for sex appeal. It's for sex appeal only.
Yeah.
It's for
Exactly.
Instagram photos. It's to put up because they've got a good butt and it's tanned, and they put that up. And trust me, the minute they take those things off, they put on some granny pants.
Yeah, totally.
Trust me.
All right.
They do.
Know, I believe
They're
it.
like, oh,
I
these
believe
are
it.
comfy.
Yeah, I just have always had this sense that it's not comfortable. Like there's nothing about it that is a comfort to anyone.
No, I mean, well, and not having worn an actual G-string, but certainly have been on long car rides where naturally stuff starts to wedge up in there. The first thing you do when you get out at the Conoco Quick Stop is do the old pull out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's totally me.
That is a weird thing, but I challenge both of you to go out and buy a woman's G-string and try it on for one day.
Okay.
And here is the challenge. And to all you tadpollers, this needs to be a thing that Scott and Brian, they need to go out and for one day wear a G-string.
All right, G-strings.
You're going to have to take our words for it because there's no way that I'm giving any photo evidence that I'm wearing a G-string.
Oh no, that's a really good point. I'm not going to show that to anybody if I did
Yeah,
it.
I will buy the package and I'll show people that I'm currently holding a package of a G-string, but that's about as far as any sort of proof is going to go.
Yeah, I would do that. And it says so. I'm looking on Amazon, Brian, trying to find something that would work for us.
Oh, good. Can we just get we don't have to even go up to the Kohl's up the street to get one of these?
We're going to end up paying. We're going to pay something around $10. It looks like $7.89 to $10 on average if I get it through Amazon. I could probably go to Target.
That's a women's G-string or a men's G-string?
These are women's G-strings. Oh, I guess we'd want to get a man's, wouldn't we?
There's men's as well.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. It's a Seinfeld thing. You're going to have to do the Georgian, or the Kramer, and just come in and go,
Oh,
I'm out.
Good Lord. Look at that
I'm out.
thing.
About the same price. These are all about $9. Some of them are as high as $20. Oh, they've got the little. This is maybe we're having. Maybe this is all bad. We shouldn't. I'm not doing this now.
I feel like I need Amazon safe search. There's like a photo of a dude wearing one of these with his hands down his pants to sell underwear.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems gratuitous for an Amazon listing, doesn't it?
Yeah, here.
A little bit.
I'll put it in our Discord so you can enjoy it as well.
Oh, great. I know that these are.
feels like what's this selling? Here, I'll give it to the chat room too. I'll give it to the chat room.
I know these are.
It's so funny. I've written down all these things to chat with you guys, and then we're just talking about G-strings or thongs.
Yeah. We wanted to talk about dangerous creatures.
Because this is kind of see-through, and so he's putting his hand there so that you can't see through it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Also, he's covering one nipple.
You got to have the abs, though. I think you know what? At the end of the day, no one should wear these things. They shouldn't wear them. They're just wrong. Just nothing should be going up there unless you want it to.
Yeah.
And you know.
How about men's open work mesh breathable underwear lingerie bodysuit briefs? How about those? Those sound like a thing to do. Those will keep the mosquitoes out, right?
Oh, those would be those things that those weird guys take photos of and then send them to you late at night.
Like Borat.
Right.
Yeah. Or everyone on everybody on your Snapchat list probably would be into that. Well, all right. Well, we've covered two.
I'm not into that. I'm only on a few social media things, and even the two that I'm on, you still get those dick pics, and I think, well, why?
Do people do that to you? Do you get those?
Oh yeah.
I hear every woman in my life tells me this. And I think this is really good that you said that because it's easy for guys to blow this off because if you're a guy who doesn't do that and also you've never gotten one, it sounds crazy that anyone would do this, but you need to be reminded once in a while.
My partner doesn't do it. My partner can't get it at all and he doesn't understand it. And look, maybe if you've got like a huge Roger, you'd be like, yeah, I'm super proud of it. I'm going to send a photo. You should be impressed.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's definitely a thing that impresses gay guys. Like if it's a gay guy talking to another gay guy or whatever, they're going to love it. But for women, we're like, no, not really. We're going to pretend that we kind of like it, but we'd rather hear that you're funny or that you're interesting or, you've got really nice shoulders.
Yeah.
Text me a photo of you vacuuming. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, text me a photo of you bringing. Are you working in the kitchen and making a meal?
Ironing, baby. Ooh, look those shirts.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like when I hear that people do that, like unsolicited and all that, I just say, "What? Who? Why? Who does that?"
It is so common, Scott. Honestly, it is just crazy. Like you can be on the most general chat. You can just be on Twitter. And the minute you get a DM and it's just like there's a picture of a guy's erect penis. Yeah. And you're like, where did that come from? We were just talking about dirty rotten scoundrels. So why was that delivered to me? But it is this thing.
Yeah.
We could solve this so quickly by just getting Brett Favre off Twitter and then
Hey, my wife went to, for about half a year of high school with him. He was down there in the same city.
Oh, really? With Brett Favre?
Yeah, they grew up in...
oh, that's right, because he was in... he was in Louisiana as well.
Yeah, down there in Kiln. But anyway,
look, I'm Australian. Brett Favre was the guy that was in Something About Mary.
Oh.
Yes.
He was her boyfriend.
Brett Favre. Yes.
Oh, right. Wait, he was in that?
Yes.
Was it like a just little stunt casting NFL?
Ben Stiller brought him back, and it was like, you should be with this awesome guy. Yeah. And then she stupidly ran off to be with Ben Stiller.
Oh, I don't remember that movie at all. I just remember the dumb hair stuff. Speaking of wiener pics.
That's what most people remember.
Yeah,
that's true.
The big scene from that film.
The big scene thing. I'm glad you said scene. We were going somewhere else. Hey.
The big scene.
Gidget, the pleasure is ours. Thanks for explaining spiders and thongs. And we hope that you...
Oh, you're so welcome, lads.
Yeah, have fun. We'll pull you in again sometime.
Go back to your meat pies and Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue. And you're Hugh Jackman. There's a Hugh Jackman going on. You got
Hugh Jackman, yes. Hugh
Jackman. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Wendy will be here. We're going to help somebody with some problems. That'll be cool. And before that, though, song from Brian. What have ye?
Yes. Oh, I have a song. This actually has a new video as well that is worth checking out because it is well choreographed and kind of supernatural and cool. The band Editors have a brand new single called Frankenstein out now available via Played Against Sam Records. It is joy and escapism, and it's really cool and it rocks. It was a last minute switch out. It's like, I got to get this on the show. This is so good. The song is called Frankenstein. It's brand new from Editors. Go check it out. From the single of the same name. Here are Editors.
All right, we'll be right back.
Try Peggy's new way to serve Aunt Jemima's. First, saute some apple rings and place on the griddle. Next, pour on the Aunt Jemima pancake batter. Then add your favorite sausages. Aunt Jemima. Perfect pancakes in 10 shakes.
Hello, little guy.
This is the morning stream, and what we have here is a failure to communicate.
I think I just played the Fletchers from yesterday.
I think you did, but that's totally fine. That's a good one.
Yeah, I totally forgot to swap those out. Anyway, we don't say it enough. Big thanks to Scott Fletcher for all he does for the show. Got like a million of these.
For sure.
Even if he flew to Mars and never came back to Earth, I'd still have so many lines from Fletcher. I'd never have to worry about it again. That's how much stuff we got from him. So huge thanks to Scott Fletcher.
Always good to get new stuff, though. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I think probably just a little busy and stuff, but we'll hear from him soon. All right. Well, what do we have here? We have the makings of a segment with Wendy. However, it requires me to add her to the call, which I've not done yet. But I'm doing it now. And she's showing us offline. So that's a good sign.
Oh.
Yeah. That'll be a thing to deal with here shortly. But hopefully she'll catch this. I'm going to pause and save. Because why not? There we go. All right. That's cool. Listen to that again. That's just me.
What was that from? That's just what do you? Is that
so that's just me.
microphone issue?
No, it's me scrubbing. So if you listen to pause
oh yeah, well, like when you right. Okay.
So this is the word save. If I scrub it, that's cool. Yeah. How about that's just the S. Let's see what you sound like. Hold on. Sign.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm gonna hear that scrubbed. Oh wait, it doesn't work. All right, here we go.
Scrub me, Johnson. Scrub me.
It's pretty rad sounding.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so let me put the cursor back. Get ready to save it again. All right, let's try her one more time. Me no know why she no answer. I text her and say, "What are you doing?
What gives?
What are you doing?
What gives, Wendy with an I?
Oh, she says coming shortly. Sorry. No worries. It is ringing you, so whoops. So just answer when you see it.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like she's running a little behind.
Did you hear, while we're waiting for her, we can talk about this. Did you hear about, so Anne Hathaway is filming this movie called The Witches in England, in Hertfordshire, in Leavesden. And dude got stabbed.
Whoa, what? In the movie?
Yeah.
In the
like during filming of the movie, this guy got stabbed.
Oh my gosh, is he okay? Oh, hello?
Hi.
Hi.
He was
hang on a sec. Yes, Brian.
He sustained a small neck injury and was taken to hospital by ambulance.
Oh my gosh. In the filming, like he's part of the crew, part of the actors?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, let's see here. The alleged perpetrator, 54-year-old man, was arrested on suspicion of wounding with intent to do grievous bodily harm.
Grievous.
They know each other, it's believed, but their relationship is unclear. So this guy probably got on set and said, stab, 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 and then...
Oh, wow. And then where was Anne Hathaway during all of this?
She was putting eyeshadow on her ginormous eyes.
She was having eye reduction surgery.
Which is actually like a 4-hour process.
Got it. Yeah, that's about what I
Involves
thought you were going to
paint
say.
rollers.
That's awesome.
Some scaffolding and some paint rollers.
That's how it works.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the show. It's so nice to have you here. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good. We have this new theme. Oh, wait, where did it go? Oh, crap. Hold on. I thought I had it all lined up, and I don't. So we had that thing that was made. Remember? It was cool and all that?
Yeah. Well, you played it from sound...
I played it last week, right? Didn't I?
You did, but you played it from the SoundCloud page, I think, last week.
Yeah, but I thought I... Oh, here it is.
Did you download it?
Here it is. I found it. That boy needs therapy.
Purely psychosomatic.
That boy needs therapy.
Lie down on the couch.
Don't wash your hands and sit here and stare at me.
There you go. There's your theme. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Hey, Wendy, it's my sister, everybody. She is also, will always be my sister, but she's also like a professional therapist. She helps people with like real problems all the time. She calls in on the show on Thursdays, and we try to do that very thing for one of you. And today's came from Wendy, actually. Did you just get this as an email or on the site or something?
No, you sent it to me last week.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
I know.
That's my life for you. Well, that's cool, because I sent her a brand new one this morning, and then she said, well, let's do this. Yeah. So I'm glad you're keeping track. All right. Well, this is a good one because, well, A, it feels like it's time sensitive, but also who among us has not dealt with something like this? And it's obvious this person is very frustrated. So let's just give it a shot here. I have censored some of it for our PG-13 rating here on the show.
Ooh.
Yeah. Here's how it goes.
After dark.
Yeah. So, TMS After Dark. That'd just PM, wouldn't it be? I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey guys, says the anonymous writer. Simple question for Wendy. How does one have a hard conversation with a parent? My girlfriend and I have been in an apartment for a while, or had an apartment for a while, but decided to move in with my parents to help save for a house. I know a lot of people that do this. Some people near me right now are doing this. All parties were on the same page, but as you can imagine, being 27 and moving back home isn't exactly easy. The relationship between my parents and me has become more strained. Now that I am nearly 30, it is time to start shopping. I'd love for the opinions on houses, but it's already starting with the parental BS. Things like this, quote, "You don't want to live there. It's a ghetto," unquote. Or this quote, You want to save 20% before you get that house, not realizing that it isn't the effing 80s anymore, and no one can afford to do that. Got my finances in order and just want their house opinion. I had a little talk. I had a little talk where I laid out, quote, I'd like to speak about our house choices, but I don't want to hear your advice on locations or finances, unquote, and thought she got it. But lo and behold, she just bombards me tonight with more of this crap. So that's your email. Okay, so I went through this, but on a different direction. Wendy, I don't know if you remember this or not, but right around the time Kim was pregnant with Carter and having Carter, so real close to birthing Carter, I guess, Mom and Dad moved in with us because Dad was trying to finish the house in South Jordan, and it wasn't nearly coming along enough for them to deal with it the way they needed to, so they had to get out of the rental home they were in, and they were going to stay with us for, at the time, it was supposed to be 2 months. And the 2 months came and went, and it was longer, and then it was longer, and then it was longer, and they were there for almost a year and, I don't know, year and a month or something.
Yeah.
And it kind of forever, I won't say ruined, but it absolutely stained, especially Kim's relationship with Mom. Because, you know, Mom's just, you know, wants to busybody around and be involved all the time and, you know, tell everybody kind of what's going on, and she's just sort of there all the time, right? Dad was easy.
Yeah, and you're pregnant with having a bit.
Yeah, and we didn't have extra bedrooms or anything, so they used one of the kids' rooms. We had Taylor staying in a room that she wouldn't normally be her room, and you know, it was just all to make these. You know, it was all just to make it so Mom and Dad had some
to accommodate
accommodation. Yeah, and it was really hard, especially for Kim, who is otherwise, you know, the most charitable, nice person you're ever going to meet. But when it came to that, it was really strained. And you're, like you said, she was pregnant, second kid coming. I had injured my knee in a basketball accident. And for about 4 months of this, I was useless.
Hilarious that it's called a basketball accident.
That's exactly what I was like, a basketball accident.
Well, here's what I did.
An accident involving a basketball.
Here's what happened so that people can beware next time you do this. I was wearing like high top, almost like military style boots. Absolutely not the kind of thing you should have a quick pickup game in. And that's what happened. We had a quick pickup game. We're like, hey, let's just shoot around for a little bit. Oh, okay. Then it turned into a half court game of 3-on-3, and it was in this warehouse, as work thing. And I played in these shoes, and just like fate would have it, because why wouldn't it? I came down on somebody's foot and shredded my ankle all the way up to my knee. I had blood. You could see blood under my skin. My whole leg turned purple up above my knee. It was so bad.
Oh my God.
How was the other person's foot?
It was there. They were just in the way, and I came down on it kind of sideways, popped my knee, and cranked my ankle, and it was just it tore a bunch of ligaments. It was dumb. But anyway, because of that. Oh, by the way, that was on the day we were getting new carpet installed, where I was supposed to help with carpet. So that was great. So this is, you know, we got pregnant Kim, we got me with this, we got my parents living there many months more than they should, or were planning on, and it just got real gnarly. Plus, I had other people in the family going, be nicer to them. They're fine. They're great. They're this, they're that. And then they moved out in a huff because Kim and Mom had kind of come to blows. Not really. They didn't fight like that, but they were kind of on their last leg. So they moved in with some other relatives. And then they called me and said, Scott, I have to apologize. I didn't realize how bad this was. I didn't realize how bad it was when they're living there. So anyway, not to make this all about my story, the point is that I totally can relate to this, but from the other angle. Like he's getting it in a way that, like, this should be, we're not, how do I put this? We don't live in a culture like India where everybody just lives with each other forever, right? Like your mom.
The family's expected to always stay together in the same house as they, each generation. Yeah.
Right. Which is kind of cool, I guess, if that's a thing and you honor your elders and, you know, all that stuff's cool. But I don't know how people do it. Like, there's a time when you're supposed to just cut cord and go. And obviously he's in that mode and he wants their help, but they're giving him the wrong help. So anyway, Wendy, where do you want to start and go with this?
Well, I think I'm not sure about Indian culture necessarily, but I am familiar more with Bangladesh culture, and that is very much so I just don't want to offend any Indians or Bangladeshis. We don't really know. But there is really an important cultural relevance here, though. There's so many things in place in a particular culture that lends itself to that kind of family dynamic, right? Where, respecting the elders or the roles people play, or I'm trying to think of someone telling me recently which culture where you cannot essentially, the parents are always right. Oh, it's Nigeria. Parents are always right.
Always right.
Always right. It's built into the system. So they can be completely wrong or insane, but you don't have a choice. They are right. And the decisions they would have you make are the right ones.
What if the parents in Nigeria said, hey, I know a Nigerian prince that needs your money, and when he gets out of jail, he'll send you the rest of your money? Are they still right?
They'd be right. So you do it.
You're right.
Anyway, so I think there's a lot of differences in a lot of different places. And I think the more sort of independent kind of cultures, less collective cultures, there's also cultural norms that mean when sometimes we have to share space, we don't do a very good job. Yeah. We kind of have like, you're gone at 18/20/whatever. And after that, we don't really know how we're supposed to interact. Because the control dynamic sort of switches, right? So it sounds like this guy is there's a couple things too, right? Like he's at an age and a time in life where, buying a home is ridiculously expensive. Rent is 50% higher than it was when, he was probably living at home. So as a kid, right? Like so much financially is different. And the problem is you're talking to folks who everything just went up and up and up for them. And I'm assuming his parents are baby boomers or maybe on the younger edge of that. They could get a home for this amount. They could have a job for this amount. They could pay for school for this amount and not leave with debt. I mean, we have such a different financial sort of outlook for 20-somethings today than their parents had when they were 20-somethings. So what you have is sort of pat answers or bottled like solutions that come from what you experience. And I get this on one hand, right? Like I overheard, this is hilarious. I overheard Abe talking to somebody through the Xbox. They're playing Fortnite together. And I hear him say, oh, my mom's a therapist. I'm like, why is he talking to some friend of his about this? Yeah. And then I hear him say, yeah, so I don't get screens all the time because, I guess it's bad for us. And so later I'm like, what was that? And he goes, I was talking to a friend and he said, my mom's at work today, so I can just I can play Fortnite all day long. And then the kid goes, what does your mom and dad do? And he's like, they're home all the time. And they boss us around all the time. My mom's, all that garbage. Yeah. But the reality is I have a certain response to not being outside all day and all night as a kid in the summer, because that is my experience. And that's where kids learn rules and things. So my kid's childhood is very different because there's no kids walking around. They're not outside. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And so his social circle is these chat rooms on Fortnite. And, they'll get together and then play a game or whatever. Like I get that it's not my experience, but it's so hard for me to go, oh, that's fine. You can just miss out on all the benefits of playing kick the can on a summer night, it's really hard to let go of that because it's my experience. And I hear this email and I think that's what this is. This is somebody going, hey, you're not going to do this right because we're wiser than you. And the way we did it worked for us. Well, one of the reasons it worked for you is because everything in the economy has benefited you in the direction you needed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like if they, part of me, I read this email, I was just glancing over it again as you're talking, and part of me wants to just say, just go. I know that's easy to say, but
they probably can't afford it. It's funny because I actually kind of take a little bit of an opposite perspective on this. Tristan and his girlfriend are currently living with us. He moved back in after things didn't go well with the apartment. They're saving up to buy an apartment, not a house, but an apartment. And I do want to kind of say, and I have, when they're talking about different areas that they're looking at, some apartments like, oh, that's in a sketchy part of town. I don't think you want to live there, which is kind of the equivalent of, you don't want to live there. That's a ghetto. But, we don't have, not in Arvada anyway. We have some bad neighborhoods, but no ghettos. Yeah. But I do feel like as a parent to kind of, that I do need to step in and offer advice, unsolicited advice on well, maybe that's not an area. I mean, I've lived in Arvada for almost my whole life, and I know good areas and bad areas. I know where it's going to be convenient to get out and go to work, and where you're going to kind of want to lock the doors and bar the windows every night.
Right.
So
I get that. Okay. I totally get it. That is what it's a really hard thing.
Not the parent's side.
I totally get it, and it's hard to not. The temptation is so strong. Like when Taylor was looking for apartments and moving out, and she was going no matter what, she was going. She wanted to do it. She was ready. She had the money. She was ready to go. But the whole time I'm going, oh wait, but that's weird part of Rose Park, isn't it? That's like a weird part of downtown. I don't know if that seemed, and then I just wanted to jump in all the time, and it was so hard not to,
And it certainly isn't. It isn't like I feel like, well, he's living here, so I don't care. He's entitled. His payment, part of his payment for living in this house is listening to my advice unsolicited. I don't want to ever feel like it's like he's entitled to it, but I do want to offer my suggestions.
Well, let's go back in time for a minute, folks. Were the two of you asking your parents for advice when you were making decisions when you were 20, 21, 22, 25, 27?
No, they just annoyed me and I wanted to go. Like,
okay.
I think I was like him. I was like, maybe.
But did they chase you down and say, you know what, that's not a good choice and you should buy a house here? And like, did they force it on you?
No, but I did feel that from Dad with cars. So when we needed a car, he would be like, "Oh no, don't get," because that's one of his areas of expertise.
His area, yeah.
So he would always offer advice on that, and I think one time we got really bad advice from him on a particular Ford Escort I never want to think about again, whose paint would rub off if you touched it. It was horrible.
Painted with gouache.
It was bad. Somebody spray painted it. I think it wasn't even just like a real paint job. But anyway, the takeaway there was that I won't say it was annoying because I knew that he had expertise in that area. It's just that you think you know everything, right? It's like, when my daughter got a big dog and I said, oh, well, if you guys are planning on having kids, this is going to be harder than you think. No, this is great. He'll have a little dog to grow up with. It's going to be awesome. And then, baby comes and they're like, uh-oh. And by the way, good news is they found a perfect family for it. And she's 100% happy in this new place. But they ended up doing what we thought they were going to do, which is they're going to have to give the dog away because it's just too much. And it's a big pit bull who needs tons of attention. And the baby needs more, it turns out. So they had to learn this thing that I had advice for, but nobody wanted to hear it at the time. You know what I mean? So no matter what, whether we're right or wrong, the parents feel like they have advice and the kids don't want to hear it. That's been my experience. Both as a kid and
I've done this before on the show where we talk about like your circle of concern and then your circle of influence, right? Like actually there's really valuable lessons in making mistakes. So like sometimes they're big deals and we really wish, we could prevent them from doing that. But what we end up doing is making all the kids' decisions for them or guilting all of their decisions. Even if they do a thing we say, they do the opposite. They still have you in their head going, well, my dad said I should have done this. And look at me, I'm a failure. In fact, some interesting research that is not shocking one bit, but just confirming what I think I've always suspected, is that kids with parents who have helicopter style parenting and are authoritative and, just hovering and making sure everyone's good all the time, have higher rates of depression and anxiety. They just aren't functioning. And it's because they have no muscles in doing it. So I think what's happening in this case in particular, you've got this guy who leaves, is doing his life, and he hasn't had this direct parenting advice, something sort of giving deal for a while. And then he moves back in. They have some communication like, okay, this is going to be fine. But then when it gets right back to you putting them into parental role again and saying, hey, we're thinking about this, and you're just, getting some advice, they turn on I'm your parent and I know better. And they probably do, but maybe they don't. But in the end, you're the one going to live there. You're the one who has to live with the results of that choice. And here's where that sort of snow plowing or helicoptering parenting is so damaging, is that it's never really your choice because mom or dad persuaded you to do one thing or another. So you don't own the response. You don't deal with the failure. You don't, it's never ultimately your skill set that gets like developed. And it's crippling. I mean, it's really crippling. I mean, there's examples that are pretty scary out there. And then there's just like versions of like, this is an ancient, age old thing where parents think you should do something, you want to do something else. And I don't see this one as that serious, but he's asking for practical advice. So let's tell him, what do you think he should do specifically with, sit him down again, saying, hey, can we talk again? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, it's probably the nicest way to do it. And it's probably, compared to any other potential negative interactions, it's probably the best way to at least start. There's also the just kind of like bite your cheeks and kind of just say, okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah. Noted.
Noted. And I'll take that into consideration, and I'll have to give that some more thought, and then just do it anyway.
Yeah. Then do what you're going to do. I agree with that. Like what Wendy's saying about making your own mistakes, I think is so freaking important. It's the only way you truly find independence, because independence means you get both ends of it, the success of it and the failure of it, if there's to be failure had. So have it, and then
it cheapens the achievement if you do something and succeed at it only because your parents told you to do it that way.
Right.
If you come up with it your own way, find your, do your own research and come up with it your own way, you've got more of a sense of achievement for it.
My kids have people their age who they went to school with who are still being propped up by their parents, and some of it may be necessary. I don't know all the details, but there are a lot of people that are just, the job is with their dad, and that's going to be where he's going to probably stay, and they're on their insurance, and they're on their phone plan, and they're on all this, and they're married, and they're in some condo somewhere, but the condo payment is being handled half by the parents. Like, it's just this constant, like, well, let's make sure everything's padded. I know that may sound great to somebody hearing me say that, but I can tell you that you're going to be miserable one day, because one day you're going to be, well, can I even do this on my own? And because you won't know. And now you're going to have to really face the possibility of failure, something you haven't experienced in small doses, and you're going to have to take it in one big blast. And that just seems bad. That seems bad for you.
Well, and there's another impact here and that is on your relationship. And so he doesn't mention like he and his girlfriend are fighting or anything, but it's the in-laws. I always tell people there's, the five things couples fight about, and one is the in-laws, right? And it's a given because of various things, but when the in-law or the parent or the mom or the dad or whoever has more influence than your partner, or has more power to make a decision, or is just in the middle of the two of you making decisions. The best way to do that is to be paying the bills, right? If I'm paying for part of my kids, whatever, then I am part of that discussion because I'm paying those bills. And so it's hard. So, one side of my mouth, I'm saying, this is a hard economic situation to find yourselves in. And then on the other, like, get away from your parents and have some economic independence. But the reality is there are places to live that are not super nice. So notice we're all like, oh no, you can't live somewhere that isn't perfectly, what are we talking about? White, rich? What are we talking about? Versus like the reality of the greatest moments of early connectiveness in a young couple is eating, takeout on the cockroach infested floor.
Right. I mean,
there's bonding that comes with those.
It's a memorable, like, you'll think about those things like, oh man, remember when we had ramen on the roof because the basement was flooded and we couldn't be in our living room.
And we can only afford ramen. Exactly.
Kim and I were just talking about this. Like, we had grandma's old, like 90,000-year-old couch for our first couch. She donated her couch. And it was the most garbage couch, just covered in the worst things, filled with, I don't know what knows what's living inside that thing bug-wise. But it was ours, and it was cool, and we could, it was our first couch. Those things matter. Like, you got to do that stuff. Build on it, sure, but those are memory. I have great memories of that kind of crap. Like,
and you take a little bit of like very wealthy parents who are wealthier than sort of any generation ever, and they can help their kids financially, so they do. And I don't know if they know how they've sort of strapped them with, I guess, higher standards. I mean, I don't know the last time you drove around a state school and looked at some of their housing, and you're like, okay, you're 20 and you live nicer than, it's insane. It's insane. The level they're expecting. And then the reality of they're going to be strapped with all this debt living school, and real life is rough. And if you're starting at your expectations are just matching furniture, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It should be cinder blocks. That should be your baseline.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, I mean, I understand if you've just got a money train happening with parents or something, then you'll get used to that. It's just a false sense of security, because at some point you're going to face one or two things. You're either going to face the reality of having to do it on your own eventually, or you're going to be coddled all the way forever. And then you're going to never feel like anything was yours. You're never going to feel like you actually accomplished it, that somebody else accomplished it. And then you're going to have to deal with all of that mental backlash. So, I mean, this is obviously, there's outliers, there's different circumstances, but man, Wendy's right. Get a couple of cinder blocks. It's your old high school Walkman's going to do just fine.
A couple of speakers, exactly.
It's okay if your carpet's shitty.
Flat screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like just
and it's a false sense of happiness or arrival, or right. And and where do you go? I think that's one of the tricks these days, is there's not a lot of places to go. Whereas previous generations, there was always moving up. There was always a chance. And now it's like, wow, my parents have everything. So where do I go from here? I just have less than. And I think, there's some rearranging. My 13-year-old keeps saying, we should have another war and just like reset everything. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh. That's no good. No good. But that's when your mind's 13 and you're dumb and you're, but this idea of like, okay, so let's apply it to this guy specifically. Creating the life you want. This is where your parents created the life they want. What is the life you want? You're there to save a little bit of money. You're going to make some choices. You don't know all the answers. And I think this is the critical point where high anxiety, I can't make mistakes. Someone will film me if I make a mistake these days. Like we're sort of paralyzed. Right. Exactly. We're paralyzed a little bit. So we don't want to make any mistakes. And if we make mistakes, we're all bad. It's just it's rough. And so here you are, sit down with your girlfriend. What is the life you guys want to create together? And what does that look like? Get very clear on that. And then only ask the question of your parents if you actually want the answer. If what you want is support and them to say, yay, you're doing a good job. Well, that's because you've had it your whole life. And maybe you got to learn to live without a second of that. Because what you're running into them. Parents are just doing what their parents do. You got to decide, do I want that? And then be clear about what actually influence you do want. So you can be, sit them down and just say, you guys are awesome. Thank you for letting us live here. Be very grateful for that, because that's a big deal. And then here's what we're planning to do. Thanks. Bye. Get on your way. If you really don't want their opinion. But if you really do, then let's be clear about why you want it. Do you want just approval? Do you want someone to just say, yay? Because we're humans. We like that. We like to know we're not fully out on a limb and going to make a huge mistake. But most of the time, we got to learn to trust ourselves. If we don't, what's your next decision? Right.
I feel like it snowballs a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I hope this is helpful. They probably, since this was from last week, they may have already made their decision. I don't know. But I hope this has helped a little bit in their process, and that you guys find what you're looking for. It's a weird time because economically it's funky. The economy, by some measures is booming, and by actual on the ground measures for quote unquote millennials, it's not. It's complicated and hard and expensive, and student debt is more daunting than ever, and be able to get out there and establish yourself in some meaningful way is harder than ever. And your boomer and even Gen X parents don't recognize it because they didn't have the same challenge. That's, it's generational as it always is. And so their advice is coming from, well, I got my first home in 1972. We paid $7,000 and we were happy to do it. It's like, well, right. Good job. You're trying to find something under, like even over here, we've got these condos shooting up all over the place. It's been growing like crazy where I live, which is why my internet keeps getting cut, because someone's dumb and they cut their freaking fiber. But anyway, these have been bumping up like crazy. When they first started doing them, they started as a baseline for sale at $400,000. Now, by California terms, that's probably nothing for what these condos are. They're very nice, 4-level condos, beautiful, nice stuff. But for here, that was really pricey. And I just found out yesterday they are now selling at a baseline of $600,000.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a house, when you know the lake over here,
Yeah.
they're finally putting houses in the middle, sort of on the island. They're going for like $2-3 million. Like, it's ridiculous. And now it's been good for us because our value has gone up as all this has gone up, right? Like, so it's been good for us equity-wise or whatever. But it does make me constantly think, it's just untenable. Like at some point, the only people who can afford to move into one of these condos are people that shouldn't be walking up 4 flights of stairs every day because they're in their 50s and they finally figured it out, or they've got a decent, ERA or whatever those things are called. ERA, no. NRA, no. What's it called? What's the thing you get? You put money into it every month and it comes IRA. That's it.
IRA.
Yeah, definitely not NRA. That's a whole different organization.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
they shoot the IRA.
Anyway, I hope this helps and gets you guys further down where you want to be. Wendy, any other cool things you want to mention before we go this week?
No, but I have some cool stuff brewing.
Ooh.
So soon. Maybe not super soon, but yeah.
Pulling a Johnson, we call that. Yeah.
Pulling a Johnson.
I do that all the time. Yeah.
I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh,
so I'm telling you this now.
Where are you going?
Oh, this is your 1 week notice?
Yeah. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I am going to be camping at Lake Superior. It's called Gooseberry Falls. It's pretty Minnesota famous. You should Google it. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm camping with a bunch of kids and families.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. You'll have a great time.
And I will throw my phone in a toilet, so you will not be able to find me.
Don't throw it in the camping.
You need to go that far.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably just turn it off.
A latrine. I will throw it in a latrine.
No,
oh, geez, even worse.
That's a terrible idea, because then
put it in a Ziploc bag and before you do any of this stuff.
it'll mutate into a giant phone and kill somebody. You can't put it there. But no, Kim's about to do that. She's going to big girls camp in like 2 weeks or something like that, and she's cooking for like 300 kids.
Oh my god,
she's an insane person.
She is an insane person.
Do you remember that time we did the homeless place and it was like 300 people or whatever, and it was all like pasta and salads and all this stuff, and she somehow put all. I still to this day cannot believe we pulled that off.
No, we were supposed to have fed 200 families, so parents and kids, and then we finish and we have so much food left over. And so we went to the other side where all the men stayed, and we fed another 190 men.
Yeah.
And then we filled one of their fridges.
Yeah. It's like a Jesus fish. It was like one fish, and on the fish and the loaves, man. The pasta just kept coming out of us. It's like pasta.
It was nuts. She has a gift, man.
She really does. Anyway, well, have fun at that camp, and I hope Adam enjoys watching the children while you do it.
I know. Woo-woo.
Yeah. Have fun. We'll talk to you later. Be good. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, bye.
All right. She hangs up faster than I do. It's a Johnson thing.
She does, but she still gets in a bye. She still says bye click.
It's a very little bite. Little bite.
Yeah, exactly. Something to be said for that. Still, that level of social interaction.
I agree, Brian.
Just don't see these days.
I agree. Hey, check this out. I got an email to
Insta Chat and Smartgram.
Smartgram. Oh, you know what my favorite things? Okay, so Kim's still watching that Riverdale show, and I think it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I think it absolutely sucks. By the way.
Yeah.
And I'll say it out loud and proud. I've got friends who like it. Garrett Weinzierl loves it. He's insane.
Really?
It sucks. Yeah. It's bad. Anyway.
Well, he had blue in his hair for a while, so let's see now.
Yeah, how can you trust a guy with blue in his hair? So anyway, no, she's really into it, and that's fine. She can enjoy whatever she wants. That's not a problem. I don't judge her. I just judge the show. So she's watching it, and one thing I do like about it is they use a lot of fake names for technology. So instead of Snapchat, it's like
they have their own because they can't promote one.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like Snipchat or.
It's like a Big Belly Burger on the Berlantiverse superhero shows.
Exactly. My favorite though was they have Grinder in there, and they call it Grind On.
Grind On.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what my Geodude will evolve into.
A
in Pokemon
Grindon?
if I give it enough berries. Yeah, it'll turn into a Grindon.
Oh, that's another thing that reminds me. That Harry Potter Catch-All Beast thing comes
Yeah.
out tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That was a sudden announcement, wasn't it? Kind of.
That was. Well, no. Oh gosh, no. This thing has been.
Well, I know it's been in the
Niantic
works,
has been
but did
talking
they?
About this for.
I don't think they've had a release date though until suddenly.
Right. This is true. They didn't announce the release date until this week, but boy, I did a pre-sign up thing because I'm very curious about it. Plus, we talk about it on the Pokemon Go podcast a lot, and we would get these notifications from them almost bi-weekly about, oh, now we're going to talk about Dementors and blah blah blah, and then here's what Ron Weasley's doing in this game and blah blah blah.
What's this thing called? I forgot the full name. Do you know the name?
Wizards Unite.
Wizards Unite. Is it available yet or no?
Nope, you can, but you can Oh, I can't remember if you can get it in the App Store to where it automatically downloads tomorrow as soon as it becomes available.
Okay.
You can do that. It was interesting. You could do that with the new Dr. Mario game, which I'm also really excited about.
Oh yeah, I am too. Weirdly, didn't expect it. I like what they're
Dr.
showing.
Mario.
Yeah, Dr. Mario's a great puzzle game. Love the music too.
No, you cannot quote unquote order. This is a free game. You
Okay.
cannot Oh, no, you can. Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Oh, okay. I'll get it pre-ordered then because I want to try that. I'm interested to see what they do because it's Niantic as well, right?
It is Niantic as well, and TVZ Gun says it's up right now. Oh, it launched early this morning.
Oh, I was told
Look
tomorrow.
at that!
Okay.
It's downloading to my phone right now. Harry Potter Wizards Unite! Oh my god!
Did you search for it? How'd you find it?
Yeah, I did a search for Harry Potter.
I did too, but it didn't say.
But it was
Wizards
like
Unite.
it was like 8 or 9 things down on the list. Do you want me to? I can actually.
Can you share it?
Send you a link to it. I can.
Let's do that. Let's take
Share
advantage
app.
of the advanced sharing
Yeah.
features that are available.
Look at this
on iOS.
future stuff right here.
It's like the
Scott.
future.
Which comes up on my phone is Scott and Kim Johnson because I use my contact list for Christmas cards, and so
Oh.
it has both of your names in the text message. even
Oh,
though
I like
I'm in
that.
the
That's
text
cool.
message.
I'll take that. Oh, here it is. Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Oh yeah, thank you for that. All right, so it's
Sure.
downloading now. I want to check that out. Big
Yeah,
hit.
oh good. I can try this out during lunch and then talk about it on the Pokemon Go podcast today.
I'm a little bit of a Harry Peter fan. I'm into it. All right. Final email from Tim W., who wanted to remind us about the origin of aspirin. We talked about the whole bear thing and aspirin being a common name for the painkiller and all that. He says, hi. In the 1980s, Bayer was preparing 2 products for the market. One was based on celiac acid. Am I saying that right?
Silic acid.
Celiac? Whatever it is.
Oh, celiac. I'm sorry. Or no, salicylic.
Salicylic.
acid.
All right.
Sorry, I was over in another part of the show notes.
Gotcha. And would be later marketed as aspirin. So that was the one called aspirin. The other product was in the form of diaformine, and there were serious doubts about aspirin as it would cause stomach problems.
No, diamorphine.
Diamorphine. What'd I say?
Diaformine.
Oh, yeah, I got that very backwards. I got what do you call that? Not Tourette's. What's the thing where you see things backwards? Dyslexia. Right?
Dyslexia, yes.
Yeah. Lexdicia.
Dyslexia.
There you go. Ooh, you don't want a case of that.
That's an R-rated show title right there.
Yep. So it says there were serious doubts about aspirin because it caused stomach problems, but Bayer were very happy with their this other product, which they sold under the brand name Heroin.
Love it.
It was called Heroin. That's great.
Nice.
I
New
think
from
it's
Bayer. Heroin.
I think it's actually heroin. Like, let's see.
Yeah.
It's straight up
totally
heroin.
is. Yeah,
Oh, that's
diamorphine
awesome.
is heroin.
Good job, Bayer. Good
How
job.
bad is your headache? Take heroin. Or as we call it, H. Get on the Bayer horse.
Start with a gateway drug and then get to the H. All right. That's it for emails. Hey, thanks for your email there, Tim. W is your last name initial. You can send us emails at themorningstream@gmail.com. As always, if you're sitting around thinking I need to support my favorite show and my favorite hosts, there's a way. There's a way. Go to patreon.com/TMS and look for the way. There's lots of cool things in there, lots of great levels, but moreover than anything, it's just a great way to give back to the show that you get 5 days a week. That includes tomorrow, where we'll have a PM edition of the show at 3:30 Mountain Time. So come on back for that.
Yeah.
No Dan this week. He's back back home.
Oh,
for
good. So I can finally talk about apps.
Yes, finally we can do apps. He's got a funeral or something he had to go to, so we'll do something with apps tomorrow, which will be good.
I might even have this app that I'm currently downloading to talk about, Scott.
Oh, look at that. Well, then I guess I won't be doing that one then. I don't know what I'll be doing. I'll be doing something.
Yeah, you can have it if you want.
I have a couple. I tried auto chess and didn't like it, so I can't talk about that. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Is it a game of chess you play in the car?
No, it's this thing. It's all crazy popular now. It was a mod for Dota 2. And then it was called auto chess, and then they decided to jump out on their own and do their own mobile game, which is what this is. And then at the same time, Valve is making an actual full-blown Dota-related game called Dota Underworld, I think, and it's basically auto chess. So there's like a big freak out about this new little subgenre that everybody wants to make a version of.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun stuff under the hood of video games. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us. Be here tomorrow. We'll be here at 3:30. And between now and then, there is a new instance tomorrow morning. There will be a new Current Geek tonight was supposed to be Tuesday, got bumped for the late Dennis thing.
Cool.
So tonight
I'll be doing a Guess the Connection, Coverville Guess the Connection for fabulous prizes at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Awesome. And I think that's it. I have a gigantic meeting today, but other than that, I'll be around. Brian, anything else? And if not, do you have a song?
The song is the only thing I have left in me,
Great.
Scott. Everything else I've put out on the table, and it got scooped up by that guy with the pocket aces. Lon Koenig Schnago said, "My birthday is actually the 15th, but any time in June is good. I'm not sure if your licenses cover this, blah, blah, blah. I'm a multi-instrumentalist and instantly became obsessed when I saw this video." Not only is Lon Koenig a talented maker, he did those amazing Rogue daggers that I had at BlizzCon a couple of years back. Those things were absolutely amazing, but they were a pain in the butt to ship, but they were still absolutely amazing. But he's also a multi-instrumentalist, which is really cool. So wagaki, W-A-G-A-K-K-I, means something like traditional Japanese instrument. These guys do metal-edged arrangements on traditional instruments. So much fun. Now, on the cover story, this song was their first hit. It's a cover of a Vocaloid song. You know what Vocaloid songs?
No.
This is when they create a fake AI vocalist to sing a song. It's
like the Japanese Yumi Yumi Humi Humi Boomy.
Yes,
whatever it is.
Yes, exactly. Yumi Yumi Humi Humi. It's 100% correct.
Yeah.
In this case, it's Kagamine Rin. Is the Vocaloid performer on the original version of the song. So this is a cover. It's Tengaku, Music of Heavens. The band is called the Wagaki Band. The music is great, but if you want to check out the video, go check out the video because it even adds something, because you're seeing all these traditional instruments and traditional looking garbed Japanese performers playing them, but they're rocking out with metal, and it's so cool. Music of Heavens, Tengaku by the Wagaki Band, going out to Lon Koenig.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I've had about enough of your insolence.
All right, well, we're done then. Don't have to worry about us.
What if I'm diabetic?